Welcome back to the evening show. Now, acupuncture is something that has always really interested me. So during the week, I went along to visit Paul J.O'Brien at the Meridian Acupuncture Clinic, and he was there to tell me all about this ancient art form. Take a look. Acupuncture is a treatment that we all know a little bit about, but have you ever really considered what it could do for you? Well, that's why I'm here at the Meridian Acupuncture Clinic to meet with Paul J. O'Brien to find out about the conditions that it treats and its key benefits. So, Paul, I think acupuncture has gotten an awful lot more popular in recent years. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, acupuncture's been here since around the 1980s, so it is actually quite recent to the Irish shores. Of course, acupuncture's been used in China for the last 5,000 years as a comprehensive system of medicine that treats everything from asthma and common colds to conditions like ulcerative colitis, cancer and more. And it's gaining in popularity here because people are seeing the results. They're seeing the effect of it, and they're seeing how well the system of medicine works to treat their complaints, be they muscular injuries or more serious medical issues.
So it really does treat a whole range of different conditions.
Very much so. It's a complete medical system that treats absolutely everything. Now, it treats some things a little more effectively than others. It's really good for muscular injuries. It's great for things like weight loss, and it's fantastic for infertility and pregnancy, which is where I'd specialise.
Okay. Now, we're going to talk about the infertility treatments a little later on because I'm really intrigued by that. But first of all, I think it's important to understand exactly what acupuncture is because people can be a bit nervous with the needles.
Very much so.
So can we take a look at it?
Yeah, I think the best way to explain it is to show you.
So we have the lovely Sarah here who's about to have some acupuncture done.
Yep, indeed. And we've had a look at Sarah's tongue and we've made a quick diagnosis as to what we need to correct and the imbalances in her system. So we're going to be needling to balance out her liver and her stomach and spleen enzymes and her digestive energy. Now, speaking of needles...
Yes, because this is the part that people have a little bit of a problem with.
Yes.
Because they're actually tiny. And they're not really like what you would see at a doctor's surgery.
No, not at all. Most people, when they think about needles and they think about acupuncture, they think syringes. And it's not like that at all. These are, in fact, tiny. They're hair thin.
Okay.
They're absolutely exquisite.
And how far do they go in? Because you know when you go to the doctor, it's sore and they're trying to get into your bloodstream.
Yeah, we're not trying to do that here.
Okay.
What we're working on is an energetic system, so we don't need to go very deep at all. In fact, these are so thin, they slip through the pores of the skin. You don't feel anything. It's extremely relaxing and it works wonders.
Okay.
So we'll have a look at Sarah. First thing we're going to do is we're going to swab down a couple of the points using our surgical spirits. This is just to maintain hygiene, very, very important. And now we're going to get to work. The first point we're going to do on Sarah is spleen 6. It's located just here off the ankle, and we just tap it in, just like that, done.
Okay, and how's that feeling for you, Sarah, now?
It's like a light sensation, relaxation.
And does it hurt at all?
No, it's like a small prick. Nothing major. It's like tapping your nail on your arm. Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. I think I could cope with a little tap to my skin. So I mean that's good.
Oh yeah. I mean it's not an unpleasant experience at all. And the points we've done here are spleen 6, stomach 36. These help to balance and tonify our digestive enzymes. Also helps us with our thinking process. Lets us think more clearly, digest our thoughts a little bit. Very, very useful. Now we're going to do a point for the liver just here. This is liver 3, really, really, really cool point for helping people deal with stress, which is a big thing today.
Okay.
Excellent point for that. And then we're going to do kidney 3, located right here.
So you're saying kidney 3, you're naming parts of the body down on her feet.
Yep.
That's so interesting.
It's kind of a weird one. Basically, in the Chinese system of medicine, there are lines of energy that run throughout the entire body, and each of these lines of energy corresponds with a different organ. Now, these happen to overlay with the electrical nervous system, so it corresponds with Western medicine perfectly. What we're doing here is we're stimulating different points along those lines of energy for the stomach, for the kidney, and for the liver. And in turn, it balances out those organs, and it resolves any problems that Sarah may be having with them.
Now, Paul, earlier on you mentioned the treatment of infertility with acupuncture. I would never have paired the two together. How does that work?
Well, Reproductive medicine is a very, very complex issue, and the Chinese medical system has been treating infertility and pregnancy issues for 5,000 years extremely successfully, long before we had the advent of systems like IVF and IUI and assisted reproductive medicine in that respect. Okay. The Chinese medical system takes a look at the woman and the man's body from an overall viewpoint. So we look at the kidneys and how they influence blood supply, which helps estrogen levels and progesterone levels in women, and we look at how testosterone is produced in men, and we balance both of these out, and we make sure both partners are balanced with each other.
Right.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I've had great success in this field myself, which is wonderful to be able to say, and I've had 46 kids in the last 4 years.
46
yeah,
children?
Seriously, yeah. 43 of them have been girls. I've only had 3 boys, which is kind of a disappointment for me. But all of the parents were really pleased with that. Yeah,
that's
hugely.
incredible.
And that's after some of those patients had gone through 5 rounds of IVF without success and told they'd never conceive. And I have a photo of their kid on my desk. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's wonderfully satisfying.
That's amazing. So it really is the case that acupuncture, in all walks of life, depending on what your symptoms are, they can go from migraines, headaches, stomach problems.
Oh yeah, very much so.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah, hugely. It's a complete system of medicine that treats everything.
And tell me as well, I mean, we've got the liver and gallbladder health sheet here. I mean, talk me through this.
Okay. Well, the liver meridian is basically associated with stress, frustration, things that people feel on a daily basis in abundance, and particularly at the moment in the current economical and social environment. And you can see the way it works. We have the liver situated here in the middle of the body, and the nerve that runs from that all the way down to the foot, and then the opposite side of that nerve runs all the way up across the shoulder. So we often get an awful lot of tension in the upper neck and the back and the head.
I get that, I have to say, yeah.
Oh, well, you can see it in your eyes, but I'll come back to that in a minute. And that begins to flow over the head, and it causes headaches and migraines.
Right.
And I'd say you probably get a few of those too.
Yeah, I do,
yeah. You can tell because of the colour of the eyes, that's a slight liver imbalance there. Also on your tongue, every time I catch a look at it, there's a slight reddening along the edges, which indicates an imbalance of the liver as well.
Right.
I'd say there's probably a structural issue too. You probably get low back pain.
Yes.
Yeah, you get little black and white dots in the middle distance, little floaters in your vision,
Sometimes.
something like that. Yeah, this would be associated with the imbalance of the liver because it's not nourishing the body, it's not getting enough blood up to the head, and there's excess neurological tension in the system.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've literally given me a diagnosis just by looking at me.
Well, that's a very brief example. That's just
incredible.
based on the obvious things you can see. But obviously, we'd have to sit you down and go through a more thorough diagnosis.
Okay.
And, I don't want to do a whole medical history with you.
No, not right now.
No, probably not.
So I'm a little bit structurally imbalanced. Is that easy to fix?
Yeah, it is. Actually, I can fix it for you now if you'd like. Takes about 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah?
Perfect.
Okay, excellent. I'll get you to lie down for me. Now that we got you lying down and we've neurologically switched you and made sure that your nervous system is where you are, up, down, left and right, and it knows what's going on, we can get to fixing the structure of the body. Now, we can tell that there's a slight imbalance here in the structure of the neck and the lower vertebrae, around T2 and T3, I'd say. Do you find you get a lot of tension up here in the neck and the shoulders?
Yeah, like, it would be quite sore. Like, at the moment now, before you said any of this to me, I'm thinking in my head, okay, it's about time I treat myself to go and get a massage.
All right, okay. Well, there's no need for that. We can fix this here for you now. It'll take about 30 seconds. And there's a slight unevenness in the shoulders. This one's raised up slightly and never self-correcting, but that's all right. It's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to borrow this arm, okay, and I want you to keep this nice and relaxed for me. And what we're going to do is we're just going to bring it down, and you can see the way it engages the neck here, ever so slightly, just rotates into the neck. I'm just going to draw this out, and we're just going to rotate it, and you'll feel the vertebrae.
That feels actually
in the neck.
nice.
Release. There we go. Excellent. And we'll just walk it the other way. And what we're doing is we're just lining up the arm with the different vertebrae in the neck and just releasing. There we are, little click.
Oh, a few clicks.
And release. Excellent. And then we'll just do the other side, all right?
It feels really relaxing.
Yeah, that's the idea. So again, we're just going to draw it down into the neck, and you can see that engaging there. And then we'll just rotate around. And again, it's nice and light, because if we apply tension to the body and try to force it to do things it doesn't want to do, the body will just tense up and react. And you often find that during a massage when somebody digs into your heart, your muscles tense up involuntarily.
Yeah, because it could be a bit sore.
Exactly.
And you kind of enjoy it. It's like kind of pleasure pain. Because you feel like you're getting a knot out, but you might be curling up. I tend to kind of, tense up maybe somewhere else.
Yeah, and everyone would. And there's no need for that. You can just very gently relax and release that out. And you can see now the shoulders are nice and level and relaxed.
Am I looking better?
Fantastic.
Am I back in balance?
You're perfect. Excellent. Wonderful. And I'll get you to bend your knees for me. and roll over onto your side. And this is the proper way to get up off the couch so you don't undo all the good work I've just done.
Okay.
And then just swing your legs over and sit up for me. Perfect. Excellent.
Oh my God.
How you feeling?
That's incredible.
Rotate them around for me.
Oh.
Lovely.
No, seriously, okay, because I literally was standing up, you know, all day and thinking, okay, I really need to go and get a massage. That is incredible.
I know. And it's literally that quick, and it's that simple to take care of muscular injuries and imbalances in the spine.
You are a genius.
Well, thank you.
thank you so much.
Oh, you're
That's
welcome.
amazing.
Yes, Paul J.O'Brien there, and I have to say, I'm still feeling the benefits of my visit to the Meridian Acupuncture Clinic. And if you want to find out more information, you can log on to www.dublinacu.com. Now, that's all we have time for on tonight's programme. We're still looking at alternative medicine tomorrow night. We'll be taking a look at colon hydrotherapy, a very interesting one, plus hypnosis. So if you're interested, do join us tomorrow at 7, repeat it at 9. Until then, have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.